Thank you for joining our social media again. My name is Ricardo Castorena from Movimiento Latino Show. Today we are visited by Lola Rubio from SEIU, United Health Care Workers, correct?
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about your organization, please.
Our organization helps to gather leaders in our communities to get people to help and increase petitions to increase the minimum wage, also for Medi-Cal. That's what we do. We help others, and then we also develop leaders within the organization and the community.
So essentially you are advocates for those that probably can't speak for themselves or they just don't have the sheer numbers to make a difference?
That's absolutely correct.
And tell us about the main reason for your visit today. I know it's a very hot topic because
Yes.
I hear it and people, basically everybody's talking about it. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the whole idea was to help people. There's very many people out there, especially I know not just in my community, but throughout California, there are people that are striving and working from paycheck to paycheck, and they also work hard to try to get their families to whatever they need. And there's myself, I've experienced myself having to work 2 jobs to be able to make ends meet, and public assistance is not always beneficial for many because they usually don't qualify for certain reasons.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, public assistance is really intended to get you by, but not to
Right,
get you
exactly.
So I know that the intention is probably correct, but it doesn't really work out. And so that's why minimum wage has become such an important topic, especially in California. So tell us a little bit about how your mission with this whole process.
Well, like I said, my personal experience and the fact that many others that I've seen that struggle. I've always worked most of my life working in fast food and supporting my family. I've also have relatives, my son, my grandchildren that are coming up. I would like to see a difference for them. It's very hard to live paycheck to paycheck, and then with everything increasing, the cost of living and minimum wage not increasing.
So what's the goal for minimum wage?
Minimum wage right now with their intentions is to increase $1 per year until they get up to $15 an hour.
Okay.
And then after that, it would be based on cost of living.
Right.
And I know right now a lot of people are in a disagreement. It is a hot topic, because many are they get discouraged because they feel like, well, why didn't you go to school? And I said, well, not everybody has the resources or qualifications to be able to attend, or the parents don't have the sufficient amount because it's so costly. Things have changed, and I just feel that it's very important that if people are able to do this on their own, they're able to maybe set aside something or give them the incentive or something to increase something for the kids in the future.
Well, you actually just clarified one question for me. I was under the impression that we were asking for an increase to $15, but it's in increments.
In increments is actually
I
correct.
got you. So thank you. That helps a lot. So what do you say to the naysayers? Because you know they exist, right? For someone that says, well, they're only going to increase the cost of living.
Well, what I say to the naysayers is that if we want to get these people, to understand that an increase in that amount is, yes, it would be, I would even say it would be kind of hard, but gradually it would adjust.
Right.
It would make an adjustment, and it would get others used to it, business owners. And I know an increase, regardless, increases are always going up, regardless of minimum wage is still where it's at.
Yeah.
But if, it would gradually, lift up. And I know is that what we're intended to do is lift up California by increasing and adjusting.
Right.
Things would adjust based on increase. I mean, maybe not that much or so, but what I'm saying is increasing the minimum wage and gradually increasing the cost of living. People can catch up to it,
Right.
And be able to do and be more self-sufficient and, spend more time at home with their kids, parents, I just want these people to understand that it's not something handed out to them.
Right.
It's something they can earn, and they work their way up to it.
Yeah, so it's not like financial assistance.
No, it isn't. They would be literally working.
Yeah.
And even if they're working, full-time jobs or second job, it's their option, and based on what they need and their criteria at home, as far as what they need to what it would benefit in their home
Right.
based on, you know, whatever it is they're going through or whatever their needs are.
Yeah.
They're still earning a living. It's not handed out to them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I see it. I strongly believe in that.
Yeah. And you know, for those folks that really are naysayers or pro and con, I think you should always do some research. And if you take a look at the research, Fresno has a huge number of individuals or community members or even our neighbors that live below the poverty level but are working.
Yes.
And that's because clearly it's way more expensive to live in Fresno than it is to work in Fresno. I can tell you one simple fact that I know for sure. The average person that works at, let's say, fast food, will have to spend about a week and a half worth of pay just to go buy groceries for a family of 4.
Exactly.
That I know. And the reason I know is because I do my homework all the time, every time I have guests. So tell me a little bit about the future plans. Let's say this does pass, then what's the next on the agenda?
Well, the next on the agenda, right now, I'm still doing more research on what's going to happen after this. But to uplift California is the main goal. After that is once we've accomplished this goal, we're looking into for other resources that we can have to help benefit.
Right.
For not just just one, for all.
Right.
It's for all, and that's all I can say.
Yeah.
As far
How does
as-
one get involved?
And many of you, if you have any questions or information, like to do any research, please go to the website that is on your screen or a telephone number if you have any other questions, if you'd like to volunteer or do anything to help or get involved.
Do you have any final messages for our viewers, those that are on the fence or really considering signing this petition?
I would like to urge many of you to, after you've done all your research, to see that, to vote on the November 2016 ballot to increase our minimum wage for California.
Thank you very much for visiting us. Again, folks, don't forget that you can always visit here our Movimiento Latino page on Facebook and Instagram. And we'll also see you every Saturday at 7 a.m. on Telemundo Fresno 51. Thank you very much for joining us on Education is Power.